Another day, another shed video. Seems all I bloody do, but anyway. Today I've got a nice little box that I picked up last night. It's got some little goodies in it, so we'll check that out. This might give it a bit of a hint. And that might give it a hint where it came from. Roadrunner Off-Road. I spend a lot of money there. They are a good company. They always seem to have what I want. So anyway, we'll get into what's in the box. Couple switches. Now I've got this. It's a 12 volt switchable isolator. So instead of manually isolating your winch, yeah, you can switch it on and off from the dash. So that can be remote mounted anywhere you want, which where my winch isolator was before was not in a very handy spot. So this will be good because I can mount it in the same spot and flick it on and off with the dash, which is awesome. So I'm looking forward to using that. And I think it's rated to 800 amps at 30 seconds or something like that, which should be enough for the twin motor. I did do a bit of an amp test a while ago now when I did the 12-24 volt comparison and loaded up on the single motor winch. It was rough, like I seen maybe a peak of 350 amps for like a second. So yeah, two motors, 700 amps, but obviously that's going to change a little bit, different loads, different gearing and whatever. So once all this is installed, I'm going to chase up an amp clamp and I'm going to test it all to make sure I'm not exceeding the load limits. But yeah, for this to do 800 amps for 30 seconds, how often you're winching for more than 30 seconds with something that's as fast as them winches? Yeah, not very often. So anyway, that's one cool thing that is going in here. What else we got? Oh, I got a new hook. It's got an integrated hammer lock. So yeah, it's not so bulky. Just trying to keep it nice and small in this car. The smaller hooks are a little bit harder to get if you've got a big bulky tree trunk. It's a little bit tricky to get it on, but still doable. But yeah, on this car, I'd prefer just a smaller hook, tucks away better in the bar, and yeah, it's just a little bit easier. So, what else we got? So this is a Red Winch, mate, these plasma locks. So yeah, in essence, the one bit of rope goes in there, and then you wrap it around the drum over the top and then back through here. I'll show you how to use this when I actually put it on, but there already is a video going around of how to use it anyway. But yeah, what that does is lock the rope on the drum. And yeah, in one of the other videos where I took the race car out, we did actually have the problem of the rope coming off the drum because we're getting a bit greedy. But yeah, with one of these, it wouldn't have happened. So I'm keen to use one of them. So this will, yeah, at the moment the rope's just bloody half hitched onto the drum. And that's, yeah, gets a bit bulky. So this, yeah, this keeps the rope on the drum. You don't end up with a high spot in the rope. So that's pretty good. And then I think we've got this sneaky thing here. What have we, oh yes, here we go. So this is something I've been waiting for a while. Might take 2 minutes here. So this is something I've been waiting for a while. Obviously due to COVID and whatever else, it's put a long stop on everything. So this is obviously from Red Winch. It's their 12-24 volt switchable box. Similar, obviously I already had one in this car, but yeah, the rating on it and the quality in that, I didn't want to use it on the twin motor. This is good for the twin motor. Same thing as the isolator. I think it's like, yeah, rated to like 800 amps for 30 odd seconds or whatever. So again, I'm going to be checking all this stuff, but yeah, that's from my research so far. I think this won't be a problem. There are people already using them for twin motors, so I can't see it being an issue. So we'll be installing that. It's fully sealed. It's got an O-ring seal. It's got a breather, so this can be mounted sort of wherever. It's got high quality Albright solenoids in there. So I am actually keen to try it out. It's going to be yeah, a good bit of gear, and I'm going to mount it a bit differently and try and clean up under that seat because yeah, that was like, I had a fair bit of a mess going underneath that seat. So I'm going to try to clean all that up. So that's kind of what we're doing today. Yeah, I'll be mounting that. Justin's coming out to do some wiring. Mounting that somewhere. Yeah, a couple other bits and pieces. And if you are chasing anything Red Winch, so they do heaps of cool stuff, high quality stuff. It's some of the best, it is the best stuff you can buy. Winches, single motor, 2 motor. Yeah, these boxes, that as well. Anything, Red Winch made the original snatch ring. Yeah, heaps of other stuff, winch motors, whatever. Roadrunner Off-Road are actually the Red Winch dealer. So if you need anything Red Winch, hit them up, because yeah, they're sorting it all out. But that is, yeah, it's high quality stuff. So I'm looking forward to using it. The other sneaky thing hasn't come in yet, because there's some other stuff going on with that. But that's for the race car, which we'll get to soon enough. So this is where I had the other isolator mounted. So on and off, obviously under the seat. So it wasn't ideal. It worked, but yeah, if you had a winch point or whatever and you forgot to turn it on, which I did do once or twice, it's bloody annoying to turn it on. So that's why I'm doing the remote mount thing, which should be cool. So I can mount it a little bit different. I don't have to mount it in arm's reach. I can mount it, tuck it away somewhere, wherever. So that's a plan. I'm going to mount the box up on the batteries here, hopefully. I've got to check all the clearance and that, but that should shorten all these cables up. Yeah, and just clean all that up. I'm looking forward to, yeah, clean all that up. So obviously this compressor is getting swapped out, which I'll do as well. And I've got a sneaky air tank. So yeah, obviously it's just an old fire extinguisher, but I'm going to be using it for an air tank. So what the plan is to hopefully mount it somewhere there with the box up there, whatever the isolator. So just clean it all up a little bit. I need to actually go get some fittings for that, because I'm going to do the same thing as I've done in the race car and plumb both compressors into this, because obviously with the red, with the winch, the air brakes and the air free spool and that, so there's a bit going on with the air. So not that I've ever had a problem again with any of the cars with compressors or whatever. It's just, yeah, good to have both compressors plumbed into it. And the tyre one is, yeah, a good backup compressor if I need it. So you don't want to get stuck somewhere and have no lockers and no winch and whatever, because that would equal dramas. But yeah, I've actually got to duck into town, get some fittings. I'm going to put these solenoids in there. I need to run an air hose up to the front for the air brakes, and yeah, whatever else I've got to do. Some switches to change on the dash. That's why Justin's coming out, because yeah, I need to add in a different switch for the 12-24 volt box, and then also a switch for the winch isolator as well. But anyway, we'll get to that. So there's a little bit going on, and I'm trying to film 2 videos this weekend. The other video you would have seen probably the weekend before, whenever I post it. But so it's going to get confusing, but I've got a bloody busy weekend, so we'll get cracking. I'm having a hard time finding a spot for it. It does not fit there like I originally thought it would. That's sort of the only spot I've got. Or maybe I might, the only other option is, yeah, to pull the cable back through, weld these holes up and drill 2 more somewhere else, and then it may fit here, but I don't know. I need to do more thinking. So as per usual, it's bloody turned into a bigger job than I thought. Far out. So here's what I'm thinking. I can't fit it on that side. I'll actually show you in a second why. So what I'm going to do is, where the oven is, I'm going to put the box where the oven is, and hopefully move the oven where the compressor is, and then move the compressor in the middle here. This is just a dud one because super center, but yeah, so moving everything around. But what I want to try and achieve is, if I put a seat back in here, I don't want to have to move this box, obviously because there's a fair bit of wiring and fixed length, like big cables and that to it. So if I put it here, I can still put a back seat in, and all I have to do is just 2 wires for the compressor, 2 wires for the oven, and then I can move that stuff out of the way, which is, you know, 2 screws, 2 wires, easy, and then put a seat back in it. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to go for a bit more practical here. Yeah, I'm trying to make this car as practical as possible, and I think that's the way I'm going to do it. So this obviously houses the fridge. 60-litre fridge sits here, and with the compressor here, the little hose, I'll go on the other side actually and finish off. Yeah, like I was saying, the compressor hose, I can just plumb it straight into the air tank, which will probably mount there. Don't mind all that. Which will probably mount there. And yeah, that gives me enough room. Like I can put the isolators here or wherever. So there's enough room here to jig stuff up, that all the main stuff can stay in here with the other seats on. So that's the idea behind it. And I can't really, well I can, but I can't really move these because these glands, the rubber glands, I can unscrew it, but I can't feed the cable back through because that threaded cap there, you can see, won't go over the ends on the thing. So I can't actually slip the cable back through the floor, which far out annoying. But yeah, the other way would be I have to pull the cable from the other way, which is from the front, and I'm not going to do that because no way. So that's bloody annoying because yeah, I was thinking obviously about moving the cables, but anyway, so the cables are staying there, and I think that's the direction I'll go. I'll just have to make a mount up for the compressor to go there, which is no big deal, but again, more work, so we're gonna be even busier. All right, so this is where we're at. Bend on a little bit, but I've redecorated, so the oven fits there. The supercharged box fits there. I just got to riv nut that down, 4 riv nuts. I've relocated the compressor to there. Not ideal, but usually only the dogs are sitting in there. So yeah, not too bad. I've sorted out an air tank as well, so we'll keep plodding along. It's the next day. I didn't film too much last night because it was bloody belting down with rain and you couldn't hear anything in here. So yeah, I just kept plodding along. We ended up getting a fair bit done. So it sort of looks a bit messy at the moment, but there's an air tank there. It's finished off. It yeah, 2 solenoids in there, one there, one there. A Nitto fitting in the end to join it into that compressor, and then it's got a hose that goes up into this compressor, so both compressors link into the tank, and then that's me air outlet for the tires. So I'll just have that plugged in there. Yeah, pretty much all I've got left to do is just mount this isolator, which is the power isolator for the winch, and then I've got to make up another cable from the earth to the box over there, and then yeah, make up a cable from the isolator to the box too. So we'll keep ticking along. Yeah, nearly done. So the box is in, yeah, like I said, I riv nutted it down, so that's all solid. The compressor's mounted there and the oven's screwed down. So yeah, bit of redecorating, but it's all looking pretty good. It all fits in there, still good. Obviously I'm looking forward to using that supercharged box. Yeah, I've always had on this car the switchable 12-24 volt, but this box will work just that little bit better than the other one, being a bit more heavy duty. So I can't wait to use that. But yeah, for now we'll keep moving along because I've got lots of other stuff to do as well, and I don't have much time. So I'm just making up another cable for the earth. It's just 70mm cable, but if you're using lugs with a square end on them like that, they're a little bit tricky to feed the cable into once you cut it out of its protective sleeve. It tends to expand and then it's pretty hard to get in there. So what I do, little punch, tape it end on it, and I'll flare the ends, if you can see that. Just give it a few knocks, flare the ends, and that will make your life a hell of a lot easier. So, good little trick. All right, we're gonna crimp some cable. Hydraulic crimper. So, another earth lead, power lead from the box to the isolator. And it's bloody annoying. I've got 3 leftover cables. They're all too short. So I need 1 more cable to earth the main battery to the body. And yeah, I don't have enough. So I'm gonna have to chase them up, but that's fine. I'll crimp these 2 and then most of it will be done anyway, so. Alright, so that's the cables crimped. Nice little crimp there. Yeah, when you're doing that, always use this thick heat shrink. It's got glue on the inside. When you heat it up, it activates the glue and glues the heat shrink to that. So that works well. And also I solder the ends as well. So when it's all crimped, just heat it up, jam a heap of solder in there. Just make sure it sticks. So yeah, bang these in the car. Like I said, I'm 1 cable short. I'm gonna have to chase them up, but yeah, once these get in there, it's pretty much job done until Justin does his thing. So bang them in. All right, well, pretty much finished, I reckon. There's obviously still a little bit to do, but yeah, the box is in, obviously. The cables have been ran, and yeah, the isolator's in, the switchable isolator, the air tank's in, it's all in. The only thing I'm waiting on is another similar isolator, which is 12 volt switched, which I'm going to use to as like a dual battery thing to separate the rear batteries from the front battery. So yeah, like when I'm camping and whatever, yeah, obviously I can separate the batteries and I'm not flattening the start battery. So that's the idea behind that. Still waiting on that. But yeah, it sort of looks a bit messy at the moment, but Justin's going to come around when he's got time and just wire it all in. So there's a heap of stuff that needs cleaning up. Obviously all this is, yeah, that all needs cleaning up. But that's like compressor, the oven, the Anderson plug for the fridge and whatever else. And yeah, obviously the box needs wiring in to the dash so I can switch. But all in all, it's come up pretty good. Yeah, way bigger job than I initially thought. And I still even relocate and stuff, it's still in a good spot. So I'm keen to test all that out. Obviously all that is because of this winch on the front. So yeah, I'm definitely keen to try it all out when it's all done, which shouldn't be too much longer. But anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna wait and show you in this video what it looks like when all the wiring's done, because I don't know when he's going to do it, and obviously I need to get a video out. So that's it for this video. Yeah, if you like what you're seeing, subscribe and whatever, drop a like and a comment. If you want to know anything else or you want to see me do something, let me know. I'm always reading the comments and whatever. And yeah, hopefully this thing is not far off from getting back out on the track. So we'll see you on the next one.